Hey everyone, this is episode 400 of the OotiniCast. Woo! All right, and it is the 3rd of November 2020, and so we will be starting the actual show in a little bit, but we have some last-minute technical things to do. Let me make sure that the stream is up. Looks good. That's always nice. And then we've got... hopefully Doc will be coming soon. We knew his schedule was going to be tight, so I'm probably having to be adding him in just a minute. And Marcus, unfortunately, is life has gotten in the way. He's probably not going to be able to make it. He may be able to come later on in the show. If he is, great. And if not, well, we understand life is certainly crazy for everyone right now. And he's got some things going on. So, all right. So it looks like we've already got people in chat, which is excellent. We'll get going on the official show soon. This is the raw version of the show that goes out on YouTube, and we also use it to edit the final version of the audio podcast, and the audio podcast will go out tomorrow. So I hope everyone's having a good day. So we've got Kitty, of course, is with me as co-host. We've got our guild leaders here, and we do have a new guest with Sith Lord Britt. Hey, Britt.
Why, hello there.
And do you prefer Britt or Brittany? Because I notice it's kind of in both on your...
I respond to everything.
Okay.
Hey, you, mom, mama, mommy.
Right, so... That's excellent. I'll probably call you Britt just because I've seen that more.
Sure.
But let's see. Let me see if... And this is going to make the stream look weird, but let me just see if Doc is showing up. Because I know that Doc it's going to be tight for him. He's probably he's wrapping up with a client or with someone he's, doing actual therapy for. So he'll be with us as soon as he can. We're going to... Like I said, Marcus probably isn't going to be able to make it, but he might show up partway through, he said. Looks like Kitty's gone to get water or something. So this is all fine. We're going to keep vamping for a bit.
Flying by the seat of our pants.
That's right.
I just needed to open the window.
And I'm glad I checked the show notes one more time, because I realized that I had created the pictures for the Mind Trap, but I hadn't actually put them in the show notes. Yeah, they do better if they're actually in the show notes. So there we go. I did add a couple things. I noticed Sorterista's weapon database, so we'll be talking about that. She did a bang-up job on the armor database, and I'm looking forward to using the weapon database personally. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely am looking forward to using it, partly because the preview in the game doesn't actually have the sounds. And for me, the sounds on weapons is really important, especially for guns, because there's a wide variety of gun sounds. Lightsabers too, they have the more crackly ones and the smoother ones and the grungier ones and all that. But I think especially for me personally, the gun sound preview is going to be really nice. Looks like we're getting some people, pretty good amount of people really already. Cool. Hey everyone.
I'm going to need Britt to tell me about lighting.
Have some, I think, is the rule.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe you don't have a light above your head.
Right.
I was going to say, it's honestly quality lamp. It doesn't matter where you buy it from. It's about where you put it in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And all the other lights in there. I didn't know I had to sit on YouTube for, 2 weeks until I found the right video that was hey, dum-dum, this is where you put it. I'm like, that makes total sense. All right, thank you. Everyone else gives it real nitty-gritty details. I don't know.
Yeah. Here's my Amazon link to the $490 lights you need.
Exactly. I don't need that. So,
no.
I'll link you. I got you.
All
So,
right.
did you want to mod anyone?
Let me see. Let me look. Let's see if I can see. I don't see Doc yet. Yeah, he's showing his, I don't see him as online yet, so we can probably wait another couple of minutes, but I don't want to wait too long. We do need to get going at some point, and we can always recheck it in a few minutes, and maybe I'll send him a quick, DM or something.
Did we tweet, everyone?
I haven't tweeted out either. I should do that. All right.
You got a lot of plates spinning, Chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could give us some plates if you want. But maybe we should have organized that before this.
All right,
Then
I
it wouldn't
will.
be Utini.
That's right. We'll be very, very.
Much more
Very busy.
entertaining when you get to see the behind the scenes crap.
All right, let me go ahead and tweet this out. It's live. Keeps wanting to say is love. Now at. Okay.
But OotiniCast is love.
OotiniCast is love.
Oh.
All right.
Set the love.
There it is. It's tweeted out.
Hey,
If
J-Wolf.
you guys want to retweet it, that's great. And let me see. Trying to think what the best way to grab Doc would be or send him a message. I know he's, he's obviously planning on being on, but he's clearly running a little late. He had someone he was doing his therapy with right before the show, so he knew it was going to be a little tight. So I'm kind of vamping a little for him, but we obviously need to get going at some point as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get going. I'll do a quick, should I do it on Discord? All right, I'm going to send a message to Doc.
We can see all of your messages on the
I know.
Okay, as long as you're okay with that.
Yeah, well, I can't do anything about it, really. Well, I guess I could kill or change the thing, but it doesn't matter. And you can, if I don't see you, use Twitch chat, and we'll get you in the... All right. There we go. Excellent. Alrighty. So let me get on to back to the top of the show notes, and I say we get going. Let's
do it.
I don't like to do it any later than this anyway.
Let's go! Episode 400!
All right.
That's just crazy. I'm so excited.
Me too. All right. So, we don't have to worry about... We're not worrying about that, so we'll just get going. Let me double check, make sure... Yep, the recording is going. And I think we're good to go. All right. So, going in 5. Hi, and welcome to the OotiniCast, the podcast that loves democracy. It loves the Republic. This is episode 400 being recorded on Election Day, Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. And I'm your host, Chill. With me is my co-host, Kitty Kisses. Hey, Kitty.
Hey, Chill. Hi, everybody.
And it has a magnificent, I hope, fake mustache. Either that or you grow it super, super fast.
Oh, it's real.
Hey, Kitty, is
Oh, Doc is here. Okay, great. I can bring him in. Excellent. All right.
Kitty, is that going to be one of the giveaways?
Yes,
let's
mustache
see.
rides.
Perfect.
Wait a minute.
Doc is
no.
online. Cool. And now I can go back to here, add Doc. He should show up now. There he is. Excellent. We'll see if this actually... Okay. Hopefully it doesn't actually kill the call or anything.
It looks like it's working.
All right. Hey, Doc. Yay! All right, Doc. I know we're pulling you in. It's a little awkward because we just started, but I you know what? I'll just restart.
Restart.
The live people will know. The podcast people have no idea that we restarted it right after I did the intro. How you doing, Doc? Oh, I can't hear you yet. I can see you, though. I love the magnificent background.
Everyone just nod as he talks.
We can't hear you, bud.
Let me make this full screen again. There we go. That looks a lot better for the stream. All right. Yes. That's right. This is definitely the secret sauce behind the show. Of course, we gotta have a little of that on the 400 for sure.
Pull the curtain back.
And people love this stuff.
I know, it's funny. Yeah, it's true.
Well, they do, because you always think, oh, podcasters, they must have all this special equipment and do things special and they're important. And that's all true, right? But at the same time, it's like you have no idea like what's on that side of the wall.
Yeah. I still can't hear you yet, Doc. Sorry. Are you push to talk? I mean, is it that simple?
Yeah, push to talk is Discord. Are you serious?
No, was that it?
That would have been funny.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Man.
It's Discord. I'm like, it's not Zoom, it's Discord.
To show it happens to the best
There's
of
so
them.
many devices. There's so many things I do to talk to people on the computer that I was like, is Skype stealing it? Is, the app where I do counseling stealing it? Is Microsoft Teams stealing it? And it was just push to talk.
There you go.
Thank God it was that easy.
Teresa, hi. Call guest, hi. I'm saying hi to everyone in chat.
Thank you, sir. Hi.
All right. So yeah, Swodrisa noticed
Trying to
that
match your energy.
for some reason, OotiniCast.com is not like responding in a normal way. So I checked it, and it's not responding for me either. So I'll have to get on that after the show.
Hey, Chill.
It was working for me earlier.
Yeah.
Chill. It was the same thing that I brought up to you a couple of weeks ago.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah. I wasn't going to mention it, but yes, it does seem to be that same issue. So I will. I'll get with Tio on that. Actually, because
Found a workaround.
because Tio isn't going to be able to be here, everyone. But if you're listening, he does still help us, sort of behind the scenes. He's sort of still our tech guy. That's how he wants to keep a hand in a little bit.
Hi, Gio.
And so yeah, we'll I'll shoot him a little message afterwards, let him know that hey, OotiniCast.com is acting up in that same weird way that it was for Deck the other week. So yeah. Let's see. Just send us for Sweet Arisa for tonight. Just have him come here. Just do that for tonight. So thanks, Anna. You bet I will. All right.
Now I have a fruit fly.
So we're gonna. Oh, you have a fruit fly now too?
Yeah.
Did it go through the internet? Did it go through the internet?
We could do like one of those screen things where I'm like, oh, go up there, and then Deck's above me so he could get it.
No. I just got rid of mine. No.
All right, so we'll have to restart this. Restarting. Doc, you sound fine, right? Let's go ahead and say something else. I want to make sure your volume's
sure.
good. Okay, yeah, you sound fine. Excellent. All right, everyone's good. Getting going again in 5. Here we go. Hi, and welcome to the OotiniCast, the podcast that loves democracy. It loves the Republic. This is episode 400, being recorded on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. Yes, Election Day. I'm your host, Chill, and with me is my co-host, Kitty Kisses. Hey, Kitty.
Hey, Chill. Hello, everybody. Hello, guests. Hello, chat.
And we're excited for the 400. We've got a bunch of guests here. We've got all kinds of prizes that are going to be given out. And we're excited for all of that. So let's see. First of all, we did say that Marcus was going to be able to come. Unfortunately, life has gotten in the way. He might be able to show up later in the show. If he does, great. If not, we totally understand it. And Marcus, says he'd love to be there, but it's just one of those things. And so let's see. We do have Dekion and Fee from our guild leaders. Hey, Dek. Hey, Fee.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
And we have returning ex-co-host, Dr. Gameology.
Hi,
Hey, Doc.
everybody.
And
Hi, Jill. Thanks for having me.
You bet. And I'm excited to have a first-time guest as well for the 400, Sith Lord Britt. Hey, Britt.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Yay, Britt.
So I
Two
think
girls on one podcast.
that's right. Was that one test that they have for movies? Where it has to have two different female characters, and then they have to talk about something that's not a male character. There's that test.
Right.
The
Can't remember-
Bechdel test.
Bechdel test.
What?
Thank you.
For real?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So if the two of you only talk to Chill or the males, and it's only about the topics of the show, then this show fails the Bechdel test.
That's right.
Well, we've already talked about lipstick and clothing, so we're good.
That's true.
Oh, right. I'm glad we passed.
Awesome. All right. So, you know what? I think what we'll do is we'll do like a talk about just the OotiniCast in general in a sec, but let's do a little bit of our week and just sort of getting in. We'll get things kind of rolled in nice and smooth. So let's start with you, Britt. Actually, I always like to start with new guests. So tell us a little bit about yourself, about what you like to do in the game, and anything else sort of related to the game, because I understand you stream and so on. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
That I do. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Look at all these lovely guests, you guys. What a fun time this is going to be. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate that. I do stream Star Wars The Old Republic. I'm over at Sith Lord _Britt. You guys can find me there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then on the weekends, we work on my cosplay work.
Nice.
So everything crafty, and I don't always guarantee it goes well, but we certainly try everything. Sewing and building and power tools, and most recently a heating gun, but that's okay.
Ooh.
We learned a really hard lesson today, but we certainly won't forget it. So on the weekends we like to do a lot of more of the creative stuff, kind of hang out and do more of that. I have myself marked as a mental health stream just because, like the good doctor here, I used to work in healthcare, and
Nice.
yeah, while I enjoyed the adventure while it happened, with that comes finding a lot of the needs and faults within the system as well. So
Excellent.
I like to think of my space as a place where we can be human and safely and openly talk about mental health with one another. More of like the clinical side of things, the physiological side of things, the biological side of things. I like to actually keep a channel in my Discord where people can find everything that I mentioned as a mental health moment. I cite my sources for people to double check them. So
Nice.
that's really important to me.
Yeah.
With someone who is diagnosed with OCD. And it's important to me to be able to have that space to be myself, as weird and quirky as that might be. And every once in a while, we throw in some Minecraft. Dare I say that? Minecraft. And
Of course.
whatever the fun game of the month is. I really enjoy the Minecraft though. And of course, my Star Wars The Old Republic in-game. While I've been guilded with the same guild with my friends for ages now. I did my raiding with them. We've since become more of a social group. And when I stream, my forte is the other half of Space Barbie. Looking at you, Kitty. Is the strongholds and decorations.
Right.
My gosh.
My favorite part of the game. I enjoy the heck out of it, and while I look at it all the time, I know the names of most everything out there. Still, all the time, I'll be like, "What is that?" Someone will
Right.
use it in a different way. They'll bug it out by
Turn it and
overlapping
twist
with
it,
something,
overlap
and I'm
it,
just
yeah.
like, I love it. I love seeing what other people come up with. So we tend to have some stronghold decoration events / contests. Just every once in
Awesome.
a while, people pop in, be like, "Hey, judge my stronghold." We're like, "All right, nothing's popping. Let's go." So I enjoy that part of it. It's calming for me. I really enjoy that artistic side of it, and then obviously hopping in and
That's great.
with conquest and storyline and everything else that everyone else enjoys as well. But if you really want to know what gets my heart beating, it's strongholds.
Nice. And for the
Mine are terrible.
We'll work on it, girl.
That's
it's okay.
right.
I got you.
and when you're doing cosplay, what are some of your favorite cosplays that you've done?
So the cosplays I've done in the past, as I say, I've been doing it unofficially for a very long time.
Mhm.
But the more official side of Sith Lord Britt, I've kept my most recent ones, which have been more mashups.
Oh, cool.
Which, as I say, Star Wars stuff, of course, always Star Wars.
Right.
And then, the Belcher family, Bob's Burgers. If anyone likes some Bob's Burgers, my family actually goes. And I promise, before anyone's like why do you make him dress as Tina? My husband loves Tina. That's his favorite character. So my husband
She's
actually
the best.
goes
Nice.
as Tina.
She is a good character.
She's
Right.
awesome.
She's amazing, right? I would just love to have a child like her. He likes to dress up as Tina because that's his favorite character. Louise is my spirit animal, like through and through. So we put on the bunny ears.
Nice.
And my son was Jean. The first year we went. Just after that, I actually had found out I was pregnant again.
Ah.
And one of the first things I thought of was, oh no, what are we going to do for Comic-Con now? So I actually dressed her up as Coochie Kopi, the little green toy, because I had to hold her. I had to
Right.
carry her. She would have been a newborn at the next Comic-Con we went to, so I threw her in the baby carrier.
Clever.
I was Louise, and she was my little Coochie Kopi. So
Nice.
that's how she fits in.
Wow.
So yeah, those are the cosplays. And right now, I'll say I hid the tubs, so I wouldn't get judged for my space. But in the tubs right now, I have a Sith Lord training robes, basic training robes that we've built. That's actually finished. We're working on our first Mandalorian set of armor.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
That's a yeah.
The way.
What?
Wow, that's
This is the way.
Yeah. Are you using
way.
foam or what are you going to be using for like the big armor pieces, or 3D
Warbler.
printing? Orbla. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got some Warbler. I have
Yeah.
enough for.
That's the stuff that
piece.
you heat treat to change the shape, correct?
Or you try. Yeah,
Oh
no.
right.
no,
That's right. That's what that's from, isn't it?
That's, when you do it
Mandalorian
correctly, that's what I hear you do. But yes, Warbler for the Mando pieces that I have. And then someone who I actually met at New York City Comic Con, I see him every year. And every year I'm like, you're the coolest person here. He's always dressed as Predator. So this
Oh,
year
cool.
he actually printed a mask like deep within lore called the Phoenix Predator. And now I have the Phoenix Predator mask to myself. It's the only one
Nice.
he's printed so far. It's
Wow.
painted, it's done, and I'm building everything else to go along with that female Predator build.
Slick.
Those
That's
two
way
Damn.
cool.
builds. If anyone wants to join in with me and join in the chaos that is costume building, feel free.
Excellent. All right. And recently in the game, what have you been up to? Have you been enjoying the Feast of Prosperity, for instance?
I go in and I do the easy mode
Mm.
stuff because if
Yeah.
anyone else has ever worked in food service,
yeah. It's a
I
little
have
Yeah.
flashbacks.
Flashbacks, yeah.
And they tend to I don't know if anyone else does this, but even it's been ages since I've worked in the food service industry, but I'll still have dreams where I'm like, I have this, I have that, and I'm in the weeds and things are going crazy, and then I wake up and I like remind myself, I sit up out of a dead sleep and sweating and shaking, and I'm like, oh, I forgot to give that guy ketchup. Like at the end of the night, I remembered for the beginning of the night. So
Oh, no.
it starts to trigger that in me, and my eye gets a little twitchy, so I have to avoid the hard mode for
Right.
Prosperity. But
Right.
I'm excited for the new decos that come with it.
Yes, there's quite a few of those and a lot of other cool
There's some
stuff
good
too.
ones.
Yeah.
I've actually finished my first Jedi as well. I know.
Very cool.
What?
Sith Lord Britt.
Yay!
I'm not
We
gonna
love the
say that I
Jedi.
enjoyed it. I swear to goodness, I didn't like it at all the entire time. But I did finish my first Jedi. Just kidding. They're lovely. And
Did you do the light side or dark side then? Or mix?
I kept her. What did we do with her? We kept her as a light side.
Okay.
We kept her light side. Like a realistic light side is what I call it. So.
Right.
And then what else? My stepson actually has finally made an account. Woohoo!
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And we're gonna start doing characters with him.
Aw,
So,
that's
yeah,
great.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Sweet.
That's right. I love when family plays together. That's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Doc, nice to have you back.
Oh yeah, it's really awesome to be here. Thanks for thinking to invite me.
Yeah, so you've been up to quite a bit since you were co-hosting the show, and so let us know what you're up to.
Right, so the first thing I'm going to do for that, I don't know how well this is going to work, but I just dropped an image into the chat, and that image is a chart that I created back when I was originally researching this game and personality types. And I kid you not, Chill, I got an email today that confirmed that that is now going to be published in a peer-reviewed journal.
Woo!
And
Well done. Sir.
Nice.
Wow.
And and not just published via my dissertation.
That is excellent.
So
I love it.
It's not my first article, and it's not even my. I had one earlier in the year when I was still on OotiniCast that did involve SWTOR players with the way we handle frustration from things not going our way, and I actually have done a lot of things since I left OotiniCast to preserve what Star Wars: The Old Republic is for me. And just defining that completely by myself and not what I felt other people thought I should be working on. So I am no longer playing Nightmare Raids. I am no longer playing hard mode raids. I made so in my line of work, my university has a role called subject matter expert, right? SME. And they use this whenever we're revising a course or adding new materials, or they're bringing you in to do what you do and make the course better. So I've done this for theories and addictions and a couple others over the years. And so I decided Story Mode Explorers has the same letters. And so that's the name of my Sunday night team. And I've tanked, I've healed, I have played Pyrotech, I'm leveling a sniper, and I have no worries that there's anything this game will throw at me that I can't handle with my 7 awesome teammates. And
that's excellent.
Some of those are people that I've convinced to come back to the game. My friend Jenny, who has been playing with me longer than almost everyone except my wife, who no longer plays, and she's not going to listen to this. So, dear, what's the deal? And so she came back, and then we started a new podcast that is specifically designed to help explain the psychology of who we become when we play games. And so we just did our 9th episode earlier today, and it's going really well. And so SWTOR gets a mention every single episode, which I don't do on purpose, but it's impossible, I think, for me to talk about video games for an hour without mentioning the Old Republic.
Right.
And and it's always in a really positive light, just in the structure of my life, the structure of what I've gone through to learn more about what people do when we play games at different capacities. But we had a week where we talked about fear and what the brain is doing to generate that feeling during games like Resident Evil or Phasmophobia. And
that's cool.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and it actually got me into a position that, and maybe my streaming and maybe my writing and all of the above. So I'm the leader of the research task force for the American Psychiatric Association, researching whether internet gaming disorder can be added into the next version of the DSM-5.
Wow.
Now.
That's amazing, because I know that, changes to the DSM, that's a huge thing in psychology, because it completely changes like who can be treated, whether they're covered, all that kind of stuff. That's wonderful.
That's right. So 2 weeks ago, I was included in an email where it was 8 people, me, a friend of mine in Virginia, and we're kind of the up-and-comers, and then 6 people that basically did all the research that we wrote about in our dissertations. And when I got the email, I didn't understand what I was looking at, because the people that are like giving me a voice because of their research are in this email. I'm like, what is this? So it's just been really exciting I've been pouring my energy into games, but trying to figure out how would a counselor pour their energy into games. And so far, it's been doing really awesome things, and there's been a lot of good reception. I do remember when we brought Kitty in and I was on my way out of OotiniCast that I had made a mention that, we can still do mind traps and things like that. And I'm still really excited to do that. I think in a couple weeks or so, Chill, you and I can probably have conversations about how to structure that and make sure it happens consistently, because I do
Okay.
love the show. And Kitty, I am so happy with what you're doing with the show. And your mustache that apparently isn't real. But I've really enjoyed getting to listen to OotiniCast again.
Oh, thanks, Doc.
You don't have a grumpy co-host talking about how like the raid bosses are unfair anymore, Chill. It completely changes the whole feel. So glad you got rid of that guy. But
Nice.
that guy doesn't exist anymore. I'm really happy with
That's
where I
right.
am with the game.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
He completely disappeared from the internet, and now he's known as something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Thanks for having me.
if someone wants to listen to your podcast, what's it called, and where do they find it?
Oh, it's the Gaming Persona, and it's on all the major places now: iTunes, Spotify, Google.
Nice.
And we did our intro episode, and we picked topics, and I try to layer the topics over what happened when I'm editing. So we started out with directly teasing, but I found that sometimes when I'm editing, I hear the next topic and it's not the one we said, so we don't do that anymore. It's just where is this going?
Right.
So I feel, as the person who has the research and brings in the ideas from academia, that every episode does hint at what the next one's going to be. If you creatively listen, you'll probably be able to see what my flow is. But
Nice.
It's really been a lot of fun. We're aiming for like 45 minutes a week. Sometimes it hits an hour. Actually, this is the first one that went over the 1 hour mark. I haven't edited it yet, so maybe I can fix that in post. But yeah, a lot
Excellent.
of fun. I would love for people who enjoyed what I was trying to do with the research study and OotiniCast. If you get any feedback for me, and I would just love to stay a part of the community.
Great. That sounds great, Doc. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
Oh, really proud of you, Doc.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah, and all right. So, Dek, so welcome back. How are things going? How are things going with the guild?
Things are going great. Haven't done a lot with Feast of Prosperity once I got my emotes back up to 100%.
Nice.
I figure, it dropped down to 98% when the event started because of the 3 dances, and I knew if I looked at that for a year, it was going to drive me crazy not being able to get those back. So I basically played it until I had enough to afford all of them, and I haven't touched it since.
Nice.
We did a Mando run on Friday night for the Jar Jar Joyride. All bounty hunters, everybody had to dress up as Mandalorians, just because the Disney Plus premiere of The Mandalorian was on Friday. So
Okay.
we wanted to celebrate that, and we ran Karagas Palace and had a bunch of fun. It was more just a social activity than anything. I mean, 8-man is pretty simple these days. So although most of us were out of our element because we usually run Jedis or Sith, and this time we were running ranged mechs, so it's definitely interesting. And then I think we took out a world boss afterwards to help some folks with the Feast of Prosperity. Other than that, I have not done a lot just because real life has been getting in the way.
That's fine. I totally get it. And Fee, welcome back. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. It's nice to be able to say that because I've been sick for a while.
Oh no.
Oh, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wah, wah.
I hope just something regular cold or flu or something.
Honestly, we don't know. I was out for 5 weeks.
Holy
Jeez.
mackerel.
Wow.
Yeah, I just started this week back at clinic. It was an interesting day yesterday when I said, hey, how many hours do I have to make up?
Yeah.
And my clinician looked at me and said, 87.
Yikes.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Okay then.
Yeah, so was psycho.
I'll bang that out in a week or two. Yeah.
Well, it's actually not as much as it seems because I'm on 3 days a week.
Oh, okay.
I just have to up it to 5 days a week, and I'm actually going to be fine. So
Okay.
it just was a big number to look at.
Yeah, I'll bet. That
Mostly I'm
that would be
just thankful
scary.
I don't have to make up classes. So it's just hours to the clinic. So
Well, that's good. And at least you're
and I like
able
hours
to.
in the clinic.
Yeah. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah,
been
so that
able to
was
have you been
real
able
life.
to do much SWOTOR then, or were you too sick for that?
I hopped into the Feast of Prosperity,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I've done most everything there. I actually like the food things. They're funny to me. Like the fact that you can throw the food from the middle of the room into the pot, you know?
Yes.
That's a good aim.
You're right. 3 points.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But it was fun. The other night I watched Nami Gal doing it, and she didn't know all the tricks.
Mm-hmm.
And so she kept trying to run to everything and click on it, and she was trying to look at everything to make sure she was getting the right thing. I'm like, you can't do this. You're gonna have to. She was getting really frustrated.
The hard food one is, it's a little tricky until you really know where everything is.
Yeah, and until you figure out the pattern. There's a very clear pattern.
Right.
So. But yeah, so I've done the Feast of Prosperity. I loved the Mando run we did on Friday. It was very, very fun.
Nice.
I actually really like healing on my Merc. I just forget how much I like it. Because I sork and stage it up most of the time. So yeah, and that's pretty much it.
All right.
Yeah, I went back and listened to a couple of OotiniCasts today, so that was fun. Super reminiscing.
Yeah, absolutely.
In honor of the 400th episode.
That's
I
right.
cannot believe it.
It's amazing, that
Jill, you
it's
have
gone that
done
long.
this 400
I've
times.
done this 400
I know.
times. Yeah, it's pretty wild to think about. We'll talk about that more in a sec. But hey, Kitty, so how you been? What you been up to?
I've been doing well, being in real life a little bit, working a couple extra days this week to cover for someone. But I finally finished my Marauder story, and I just finished Feast of Prosperity today.
Nice.
Like the storyline itself.
Yeah.
And I liked it. I thought it was really cool. I love the idea that you have to wait a week in order to get the next tidbit of the story.
Right.
Dude, I forgot that part. I guess I gotta go back in, huh?
That's right.
Gotta get back in there, Pete. So I did it with kind of choosing the one hut, and I'm going to do it tomorrow on choosing the other hut.
Right.
Maybe the good hut, and then there's
Ooh.
the bad hut.
Choices matter here? That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little different. It's good. And then doing a lot of Nightmare Mode Space Barbieing. Like, a lot. Spending a lot, getting a lot of new clothes and mounts and all that stuff. But
Nice.
it's fun. I look forward to it when I'm at work. I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to get home and play Space Barbie on the internet with friends.
This is the way.
Yeah, and it's fun because people are starting to pick up on it, and they'll call me out on the rules, if you will, while I'm playing. They're like, wait a minute, shouldn't you be wearing a respirator or something? I'm like, oh crap, that's right. Got to put a helmet on or whatever. But yeah, it's just having fun, taking it easy, playing with the kitty cat. That's about it.
That's right. Excellent. All right, then. Let's go ahead and do a shout out to the chat room then. And we've got quite a few people here today. 42 people it shows, and
Wow.
yeah, so this is gonna take a little
42.
bit. So, but I'm gonna do this like we do every time. So hey everyone, 152 Domino, Altaride, Aroa's Ducks, Bantha Mojito, Caracan, Cheryl Mercury, Commander Root. Everyone from the show is also in the chat. Dr. Dake, let's see, Game Dave 72, Hyel, Intasar Nor, Jedi Knight 1, Cogas, Lodvar, Master Lil, Mix Up Pixels, Neek, Ouija Strike, Ultra, Predakill, Quercus, CLT, Rack and Roll, Raic. I'm going to guess on some of these pronunciations. SWOTOR's here, so hi SWOTOR. I'm not sure if that's Musco or if it's someone else right now. But hey, whoever's doing the SWOTOR account, SWOTOR Rai, Swotorista is here. Hey, Swotorista, Tama Toms, the Gallifreyan Legacy, VNK, Virgo Pro, Xander the Gamer, and Zen001. Whew, all right. Well, I got a lot of people today already, so this is awesome.
Nice job, sir.
So my gaming was basically mostly the first week since the last show. Did the Feast of Prosperity. Did actually the Jar Jar Joyride where we did a bunch of the little bosses and the Feast of Prosperity bosses on both sides. That was really nice. When I wasn't doing Feast of Prosperity stuff, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm really going for on that one. I'm kind of just trying the different emotes and getting different things from the vendor, but I'm not being very like careful about it or anything. Anyway, so I've also got Mr. Freeze, and he's going through more of the story. He's now done with Rishi, and he's off to Yavin. I think we're like halfway through the Yavin bit, and then we have to do the daily bits, and then we can actually fight Revan. I'm actually really liking DPS Power Tech. It's actually I'm liking it a lot, actually. Not enough to make me change like what my DPS main is going to be, but enough to make me keep playing it, so which is always a good sign. So this last week I went to Denver and visited my family. My father died in September, and so went to see, and my mom and my sister and her wife and their kid, and they all live together. In fact, they lived together because of my dad. He had Parkinson's that ended up being Parkinson's plus dementia eventually. And so they lived in this one house because it had like a room that he didn't have to go up any stairs to get to, and a bunch of stuff like that. So, but it was really great to see them. Obviously, we commiserated a lot, talked about Dad, talked about how they were doing, all that sort of thing, but also had some nice times too. There's an excellent art museum exhibit that's open right now. They're being very careful with it, COVID-wise. Everyone has to have a mask, and they're down to 1/4 of what they would normally have in terms of how many people they put through the museum exhibit, stuff like that. So anyway, it was really great seeing them. Got back a couple days ago, and so I literally got back a couple days ago, and even though I knew the 400 was coming, I was trying to just focus on family when I was there, so I wasn't being very diligent. So if if it seems like there's a little bit like things a little bit was a little thrown together or whatever, it kind of was, but that's just kind of how it had to be. The flight was interesting. I actually wore like a mask and also a face shield. I bought some face shields, and we had some really good quality masks, so I felt very safe, and I feel healthy, and it seems like things are going fine. So that's what's going on. I'm actually enjoying the Feast of Prosperity. I have not done the third one, the one that just became available today. I've been working on this show today for instead. Looking forward to seeing the third part. I really liked how, like, on Rishi, there was like completely different things you could do. So you could either go and fight if you wanted to fight, or you could just go and be sneaky. And it turns out being sneaky, especially if you have the quick travel open, is like super fast. It's like, if you just want to do it fast, just do the sneaky thing and steal the wine. Just steal the wine. You quick travel, you steal the wine, you quick travel back, you talk to the guy again, you're done. It is super fast. But yeah, I'm liking the Feast of Prosperity a fair bit. I think the long version of the delivery quest, where you have to deliver all the food, feels a little bit too long. It takes quite a while to get through that. But the easy one is really easy. And I confess to swearing a lot when the first time I tried to cook on hard. And I was on stream, of course, and I was just swearing like crazy because I was failing. It's like I could never remember, like, everything lights up. Everything's lights up, so it doesn't give you that nice thing on the easy mode where there's only one thing that lights up and you need to go that direction. Everything lights up, so I was like failing, swearing, getting to the end, and then failing the spicing part. It's like because it's like you have to have the right spices, and then you have to hover over it to see what the description on the spice is. Is that the one? Does it match? Well, it kind of matches. Does it match enough? And then I timed out and I fail it again. So yeah.
I've literally never looked at that and just clicked 3 and never had a problem. So
wow, that's pretty amazing then.
I even had a Swotarista has all the different ingredients highlighted so you know what they are. I tried that, it didn't work, and I was swearing like you, chilling. I was just like, I'm done. I don't want to play this anymore.
Yeah, I've gotten through the hard ones now. I have a reasonable idea of where everything is now, and that seems to make all the difference. And I know what the 4 spices are pretty much as well, so it's not so bad now. But I was really getting upset there the first time I was trying. It's like, oh my god, this is really nuts. Why is this so difficult? But yeah.
That's what that industry does to people. Even
no,
in
really,
Singapore.
it does.
It does.
It totally does. Yeah, I'm still in it.
I see Marcus is in chat. Let me see. Do you want me to see if I can add him to the call? Let's see. Let me ask him. Let's see.
Marcus, you want to come party?
Yeah. We'll see if he's ready. If he's not, maybe because he might not be at home. He could even be, if he's doing stuff, he might not actually be home potentially. He might be just checking in on a device.
Well, let me just say while we have a moment then for myself and
okay, he's still moving.
Everyone else in here that our condolences to you and to your family, Chills.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Even when you're prepared.
Yeah.
Not prepared enough.
Yeah.
It's part of the human experience, but we're glad that you got to spend time with family and that you traveled safe and you got to do something else for yourself while you were there. So we're glad you're home safely as well.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. I thank you.
Marcus says, "Oh,
yeah,
Marcus, we miss you."
And as you said in chat, he's moving stuff, so he's doing a move, and it's been kind of crazy. So we're sorry you couldn't be here, Marcus, but thanks for checking in. We really appreciate it, and of course, we love you, and we love Working Class Nerds. Great show. So everyone who's listening, if you haven't checked out Marcus's show, we're happy to plug his show all the time too. All right, so let me go ahead and let's do the first cartel coin giveaway. We've got some cartel coin codes we can give away here, and this is going to take me just a moment to work this out because this is quite a few people. I'm going to do random from there's 40 people showing, and then there's the 6 of us, so I'll do a 1 to 36 random generator, and 35. Okay, so I got it. So that's I'm going backwards because I'm not going to count 35. Going backwards, that's Xander the Gamer. So congratulations, Xander. That's Xander.
Yay, Xander.
And if you say something in chat, Xander, that might help me because I want to get the code to you right now rather than wait.
That's some top tier service.
Yeah, we're gonna do it right now because otherwise I'm gonna go nuts trying to remember who got what and and of course people who Okay, can I whisper this way? Oh, I can whisper this way too. Okay, good. So I can whisper this without. There we go. So there you go, Xander. Excellent.
Oh, that thing was itchy.
Oh, the mustache finally comes off. It had to go.
Oh, hey, Kitty. Hey.
I can't drink with the stupid thing on. I'm so thirsty.
You look so young now.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. It was me all along.
No way. Oh, my gosh. Shock and awe.
Some free acting for you.
There we go. Very nice. All right, so that'll get us to the tip of the week, and because I was in until very late. I didn't get my reminders to people very recently, so I just did a tip of the week myself. This is for the food delivery missions in Feast of Prosperity, And you'd likely notice that the more food you carry, the slower you go. Because of that, I rarely found it useful to carry more than 2 orders of food, even on hard. If there is a third to pick up and the delivery table for that one is very close, I will go ahead and grab a third. Other than that, no, I will just do 1 or 2, and that's really all you need to do, because the amount of slowing down that you get for doing more than 2 bits of food, it kind of ruins the effect of having, it's not worth the bother. Let's put it that way, because you got these timers rolling. Also, you can save time on grabbing food by not having to move between them. The reach for the food is actually pretty good. The only 2 you can't grab at one time are the red square one on the far left with the pink/purple pentagon on the far right. You can't grab those from anywhere, but if it's even 1 less, you can go right between them, belly up to the bar, and you should be able to click both, especially once you've practiced it once or twice. So yeah, so don't move, click, go to the yellow, go click, go to the blue, click. Just sit in one place and click, and you're good to go. You could turn around and get going right away. So that'll save you a lot of time for sure. And yeah, also while I'm doing this, kudos to whoever in the SWTOR developer team used shapes as well as colors, because obviously some people are colorblind, and so if they are colorblind, then these shapes would be a massive help. So yeah, really good.
Plus the food is different.
The food is different too. Yeah.
You got the shape, you got the color, and you got the actual food
that's
on there. So however your brain works best, minus colors for now.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. But from a distance, I kind of have a trouble with the food. But the nice bright colors are, they stand out, and the shape of the colors stand out as well. So that was pretty awesome. All right, and that means since that was a pretty short one, but that does mean that since we're done with that section, we're going to do the next giveaway. This will be for a 60-day code. Let me get to that part of the prize codes. There they are. All right, and let's see. It looks like it's showing 35 now. These are always kind of changing, so they go up, they go down. So we got a 35 minus 6, so 1 to 29 generation. This one is 14. Okay, well, I'm going to have to do some counting, aren't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because I'm skipping the people who are in chat, or in the show. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Cog! Hey, Cog, congratulations.
Yay!
And Cog's a streamer, so I'm sure he probably may, but that's fine. He gets a code, and he can always give it to someone who on his stream or anything like that, because I'm pretty sure he subs. I mean, why would you not sub? All right, so let me get that one. There we go. And 400. All right. This is actually a little bit quicker and easier than I thought it would be. I know it's still kind of a distraction from the show, but
doing a great job, Jill. I am.
Okay, well, he's actually asking me to re-roll it, so I will re-roll it, and let's see. So this is so we're instead gonna go ahead and give it to Virgo Pros. So congratulations, Virgo Pros, instead. All right, we'll go ahead and give that one. Oh, let's see. He's blocked whispers, so I don't know how to do that then. All right, Virgo.
Maybe Twitter.
You can whisper you, maybe.
Yeah, if you can whisper me, Virgo, then I can give you the code. We'll go with
each
that.
Giveaway, I think Kitty has to tell a dad joke while you're. I feel that I don't know how I know that, but I just feel in my heart that the right thing to do is to ask for dad jokes while you're sending off codes.
I don't think I can think of any dad jokes at the moment. I know that's so.
Where's Marcus? Marcus, where are you? Where's Steven? Wait a second. There's another dad in here who can drop a dad joke on us.
Who's got dad jokes?
Who's got them? He's thinking, I see it.
It's been really bothering me for 20 minutes that we were talking so much about swearing at the food quest, and that swearing is the last-ditch effort of the brain to feel like you have control over the outcome over something, or that it is somehow less threatening for you. So that's not a dad joke, but I did just drag us into a classroom
That's a fun little. But fun facts work too. We can also do fun facts.
All right, there we go.
Yeah,
I didn't. I was so taken aback at the mustache going away that I couldn't drop that knowledge.
Right. Okay.
We better swear then.
I was going to say, as a New Yorker, I'm going to disagree with that, Doc. But I respect your words.
Swearing gates pain as well.
That's
It
right.
does.
That's
right.
right.
But that's a way of generating adrenaline and having a problem-solving process where you actually are pretty powerless because you're damaged. That's it.
Exactly. And hey,
but
feel free to scream if you hurt yourself and swear. That's what I say.
Right. Yeah. So everyone adjusts to this with whatever moral model you were raised with. And sometimes we rebel and say, screw that moral model. I like more words in my vocabulary. Or some people, it actually shortens their vocabulary because that's the only word they go to.
No.
Right.
Have we given the code away and can I stop?
Yes, that's fine. we're good to move on.
Damn it, chill. Okay.
All right, we'll call that good. Yeah, I haven't seen Virgapraz text me, but if not, we can always deal with it later. We will work it out. So let's move on to the mind trap. Speaking of Doc, Doc of course created this section when he was co-host, and we did this one as kind of a two-parter. So we did like a kind of a fight to the death sort of deal here. So what's your favorite Republic class ship, and then what's your favorite Empire class ship? So we started with these, and then we had the winners go head to head. All right, so the favorite Republic class ship between Trooper, the two Jedi, which is the same ship for both of them. Although technically, on the inside you have different things in different spots, but we just went with the same ship. And the Smuggler. 48%. There was, and interestingly, also there was only like half the votes for the Republic one, so that was kind of interesting.
It's not that interesting, Chill. I already told you the players are on the Imperial side.
That's true. That's true. But they voted that way too. So Smuggler got almost half the votes at 48.1%. The Jedi came in second, 35.4%, and Trooper 16.5%. And for me, I kind of like the Jedi one better than the Smuggler one, but I understand why the Smuggler one won. It has a lot of connections both to the Ebon Hawk and then to the Millennium Falcon as well. So, does any of that surprise any of you guys? Not really. I'm seeing a lot of shaking heads. It's great podcasting.
I haven't seen the results still. And in my brain, that's the order that I was thinking.
Which one? Smuggler first?
The Smuggler ship first. Yeah, okay. I really, I don't play the classes much, but in my pursuit to play classes that I used to always say, I don't play that class. I've actually realized there's a lot of really cool things about those classes that I was ignoring. And the ship is amazing. Good job, voters.
All right.
I just run around in circles.
Are we allowed to say that sentence tonight? Good job, voters.
Good job, voters.
No, let's not go in that direction at all.
Yeah,
let's strike that from the record.
All right, so off to the Empire side.
Wait, that's a dad joke. Sith Lord Britt, can that count as a dad joke?
We'll fix that in post.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. So the Empire side got roughly twice the amount of votes, 188 votes. And kind of very similar, interestingly. Agent, like the Smuggler, won with around 50% of the vote, just over 50% actually, 50.5%. Sith, the two Sith classes, got 35.6%, and Bounty Hunter was 13.8%. So interestingly, the same classes, the mirror classes, took second and came in third in both cases.
That agent ship is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, in this case, though, right,
so
like
pretty.
Where I kind of prefer the Jedi one to the Smuggler one, I absolutely agree with the agent over Sith. Although I actually like the Sith one really well, and I was really tempted to like do something where we do like what's the second, but it was going to get too complicated. But because I really do like the Sith ship, and I think it could have beaten. I don't know if it could have beaten the Smuggler ship necessarily, but it might have. You know what I mean? Because there was a lot more votes on the Empire side. So I think if we did like a head-to-head with like the top four, it might, it's possible that Sith might have come in second but I don't know. I happen to love the look of the Sith ship, but I like the Jedi one too. But it's true for me. Agent is the ship above all. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's laid out reasonably well. It's pretty hard to get too lost in or anything like that. Yeah. And it even looks like really sleek and fancy, and it's got a lot of amenities. When people were tweeting back, there was like, the agent's ship has like all these cool accoutrements to it, and it's got like wooden floors in spots, and it's so nice. It's
like
nice.
a yacht.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of the comments
exactly.
was the agent ship is the Aston Martin of SWTOR. I was
Yes,
like, yep.
it really is.
It's got to be Nubian too, right?
It does seem very Nubian. Yeah, it does seem based on that look, the shiny, sleek, and very aerodynamic, even though it's meant for space as much as anything. And so they went head to head, smuggler versus agent ship. Well, you can kind of guess where this is going and this was quite a few votes. So 530 votes on this one. So for some reason, way more than the other ones. I don't know why, but people really liked this one, and they went for the agent ship. 72.1% to smuggler ship, 27.9%, 530 votes overall. I guess makes sense. So there we go.
I would use that ship for everyone if I could. If I could pick a ship, that would be my ship for everyone.
Yeah,
It's a great looking ship, and like you were saying, Chill, the layout's really good too.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first ship I saw, so I was ruined for everything else. Whatever. Why do I have to watch expectations? Why do I have to run around in circles? What's wrong with this ship?
I
love
become
all of them.
accustomed to the finer things.
Exactly, but the agent ship definitely ruined me.
It's a well-known fact that the Empire, the dark side, has way more money for cool things.
It does.
That's
That
right.
it does.
Because
Why do you think we're always offering people cookies? We're always like, look at all that. Look at our ships. Look at the amazing weaponry we have. Look at our uniforms; they're sharp.
Every Imperial
and
ship
you
has
have
a
cookies.
bakery in it.
And
Yeah.
they're
So
bakery.
funny.
saying if no one's come to the dark side yet, come to the dark side.
All right. Let's see. And hang on a sec.
I got some dad jokes ready.
Let me see.
Oh, do you?
Okay, so I
The
can't
vote
do that.
count too, being so high when
Mm-hmm.
you put Imperial versus Republic is like a metaphor for when the game is great. Like people want to vote for the Imperial ship or the Republic ship. If you
Right.
make it all about the Republic internal to itself and the Empire internal to itself,
Yeah,
the vote is not as sexy. It's not as provocative.
clearly, because they got. I didn't include the retweets and likes and so on, but the likes and retweets were much higher as well. So yeah, the head to head a little bit. It just takes that little drop of controversy, just that little bit of competition or controversy, and
Polarization.
yeah, exactly.
Human brains love
Yes.
polarization.
The factions should never get along. It's Star War, not Star crossing the aisle.
Picnic.
All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead and do we're going to do the second CC giveaway. Right now it's showing 34, so let's go back to random. So that's 1 to 28. And let's see, so 20. So let's go backwards. So 28, 26, 25.
All right, Kitty, let's hear it.
How do you get a squirrel to like you? Act like a nut.
And it's Relic, RE1YK, which I am assuming is going to be Relic. Congratulations, and let's get the prize code for the cartel coins. There we go. Let's see if it will let me whisper. It will this time. Okay, we're good. Congratulations, Relic. And
Relic.
there we go. All right.
Congratulations.
Excellent. And let me get back to this. All right. And that'll bring us to the holo feed. So actually, since the last show, we've actually had 2 different little mini patches come up. 6.14b, 6.1.4c as well. Not, huge things necessarily, but a lot of stuff to sort of fix things that were going on with the event. Not too surprising. It's the first time it's been up. So several enemies and interactable items from Feast of Prosperity story missions will respond more quickly. So they were just kind of balancing that. There was an issue with the oil fire tactical where it was not properly giving the correct amount of damage reduction. There was an Imperial Agent story just for their class story on Voss, and there was something where they weren't able to advance because one of the objects was not interactable, the Tunay fruits, but they made it so it was. And let's see, there was something about ranked war zones where the UI could become unresponsive. So glad they fixed that one. The updated functionality of the /who list searches. By default, any words entered will be searched against planet, name, and guild name, including partial matches. Any character who matches at least one will be returned up to the maximum number of results, which is pretty cool. Because something what I usually use who for the most, and it doesn't happen that often, but when I make a new character, because that character's not in the guild yet, I'll do the C-Join Utini channel, and I'll try that way. But, people are busy, and I'm also curious, is there actually anyone on at the moment, or is this sort of a weird time? So I'll actually do /who Utini, and because it's a relatively uncommon word, it pretty much just brings back people who are in the guild, which is and then I can say, I can recognize, that's one of Deck's characters, or that's Kitty's character, or whatever, and then, maybe whisper them if I really want to get the invite right away. But anyway, that's what I use it for. I don't know. Do you guys use who for a lot?
For the same thing. If I'm looking for someone, I type in there and check it out. Sometimes if I'm on a new character and I have someone that's a friend, maybe they're not on, I'll try and locate them that way as well. But yeah, just looking for people pretty much.
Cool. Players can also now use the right-click interaction in the chat window to invite to group or report spam. So the report spam is right there now, which is nice. Report spam and ignore legacy when right-clicking in the chat window have been separated to prevent accidental clicking. It was interesting. I saw a tweet and someone was like, "Oh gosh, my /ignore it had a picture and it said you can't add anyone to the legacy ignore because you've completely filled it up. Please remove someone from the ignore if to add anyone else."
That happened to me.
Wow.
I had so many people ignored until I figured out I could turn off general chat, and then I
and then it's like it doesn't matter.
I'm ignoring everyone.
Right. Yeah, and apparently the person who had been doing it was like ignoring spam people. It's like, yeah, just report them as spam, and that'll pretty much get rid of them.
Yeah.
That's how I think that's the better way to get rid of them, and that way you can actually ignore people who needed to be ignored. Let's see. And then 614C came along. Players can no longer leave a PvP queue when there's a pending match being created for them. Previously, if a player left a PvP queue, they may have encountered an instant decline under certain circumstances, resulting in a rating loss and a lockout in ranked queues. So it's good that that's different. Republic players can now do the task at hand mission on Odessin when pressing the phase or pressing the launch button. There was previously a bug with it, whereas if you were already on Odessin and you tried to start it, it wouldn't start, and you'd have to leave the workaround was you actually leave the area and kind of reset it, and then you could actually hit the launch button. It would let you go, but that's no longer necessary. I love stuff like this. Guild summon heroic transport and logging in at certain areas or locations will no longer instantly kill the player in rare situations. I always love weird bugs like that.
I like it when your companion dies.
Yes, your companion just
yeah,
you quick
along the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, or sometimes it happens to me where if they get CC'd right when the guy when we kill that guy, the enemy, or when my companion is CC'd when the enemy dies, they stay CC'd and they kind of stay on the floor and kind of follow me around that way too.
Right.
Yeah.
And they skip around too, so it really
Yes.
looks really weird. It's like yoink, yoink, yoink. Are they standing? Nope.
They're pretty good about it. It hasn't happened for a while, but I always find that amusing when it does happen.
It's a fun one, yeah.
They also made a bunch of consumable renown tokens, no longer requiring a subscription in order to use them. So bonus chapter renown trophies, flashpoint renown trophies, operation renown trophies, blah, 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 blah. There's a bunch of other ones. You don't have to be currently subscribed. So that's pretty cool. And then unidentified barrels and hilts purchased from Spoils of War vendors on the fleet will now be granted into the inventory, even if the character is from a class who cannot use them. Interesting. I guess they could have gone the other way and just grayed them out, said, hey, you can't use them on this character, so why should you be able to buy them, or why would you need to buy them? But people do sometimes like to do it, so. And,
you buy them on the one who has money, and then you transfer them to the one who's poor.
Right.
At least that's me.
They did a pretty good long post here about there was a bug regarding guild ships, and then when they talked about it, it actually kind of gave us a little hint as to how kind of the game works under the hood, which was kind of fun. Just like we were talking about how it's fun when something happens in a podcast and it has to restart. And no one who's listening to the podcast knows, because it gets edited out, but the people who are watching live would actually know. Gee, I wonder where that example came from. Anyway.
Always be a mystery.
Right. So what they said is the guild ships have been disappearing for a lot of guilds lately, and it seems like it's been around forever. The good news is that things should be much better after the release of 6.1.4. It's been around for a while, so they want to take a bit of time to give you a peek behind the curtain to explain why it was hard to track down. And we'll kind of skip some of this, but like many games, we store our persistent character data in a database. To make updates faster, we have a cache layer between the game and the database that batches up updates. Then we write the batch to the database. The benefit is we get better performance. The drawback is if there's one bad update in the batch, we have to abort the entire batch. Most of the time, the effect of aborting is that characters get kicked to the character select, which isn't great, but better than the data being corrupted. The good thing is these errors are pretty rare and always the highest priority for us to fix, which makes sense because it basically stops the game from working. So why might an update fail? One of the many nifty things you can do with a database is define a constraint on your data. A constraint is a rule that can never be broken. Now the database is your last line of defense against something going wrong and your data getting corrupted. For this story, the important constraint is on unique character names. If we try to write a batch of updates and one of the characters in that update has the same name as someone in the database, the batch gets aborted. And now you might remember some complaints on the forums lately about character renames not working. Behind the scenes, we have a big list of the names on each server, so if someone tries to use a name that's taken, the rename gets rejected before it gets anywhere near the database. How does the list of name get built, you might ask? Basically, before we let you guys into the servers after a restart, the servers ask the database for that list of names so that they can make the quick decisions later. Here's the part where we become a victim of our own success. It turns out that the programmer who wrote that database query, and I love this, back in 2009 or so, added a parameter for how far back in the past to search for taken names. He happened to put 3,000 for the default number of days. That is a little over 8 years, and we launched a bit less than 9 years ago. It's a bit off because of some database maintenance that we did in the last year, but you get the point. So anyone who tried to rename a character with one of the names that was last played 8 or more years ago would have the rename look like it succeeds, but then the database says no anyway. So there we go. Luckily, that's a pretty easy fix. Just increase the number. If we start having rename issues in the year 2093, feel free to yell at me. So that's as fixed as we're going to need it. Why does this have anything to do with guild ships? Well, it turns out that sometimes the data that stores info on your guild ships was part of the batch that was being kicked out because of a bad rename. Yes, I know the guild ship problems have been happening for years, but that's because anytime we're having database errors, sometimes the guild ships were being caught in the crossfire. Like I mentioned above, we always fix the database errors super quick, so people would complain about guild ships, but then we couldn't reproduce it, and they died down because we'd already fixed the database error. Here's the good news. This time it's really fixed. We've both fixed the rename error, and thanks to the guilds who have given super timely info, we were able to spot the guild ships getting caught in the crossfire. Now that we know what's going on, we were able to make it so that if a guild ship does get batched up with a bad batch, it will automatically be reloaded. So no more disappearing flagships, even if we have database errors in the future. For reals this time, we hope. I love that. I love hearing stuff like that about what's going on behind the scenes. So, and
I love knowing the guts of things. Like, why?
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm a question asker, and I always have to explain that to people. I'm like, I'm not questioning you. I'm asking for information.
right.
I trust you. I just want more information. I love as much information as they're going to give me. That was cool.
And yeah, and then there was some programmer, back in whatever it was, 2008, 2009, who decided 3,000, that's like 10-ish years probably, in their brain, 360, that's plenty. I love that. All right, so there you go. Let's see. There's been some, Feast of Prosperity World Boss respawn things. The one for the Primeval Destroyer, kill the ads basically, because you should try to kill the ads even if they're still alive after the boss has been defeated, because it kind of prevents the boss from respawning properly. It causes a real bug. So if you're
Plus,
killing,
they eat your face. Why wouldn't you kill them?
yeah, I know. I guess some people are just like running away. I guess they kill the big boss and then it's like, just run away and let him despawn. I guess that must be what's happening. But yeah. So anyway, kill those ads. It really doesn't take that long, and then it'll work a lot better.
Every time we've done that boss. I think we've done it 3 times in the last 2 weeks. I'm the one that always has the ads on me. I'm like, guys, kill the boss and get this guy off me. So
We just take off.
No.
He's got this. Bye.
She's good. She's a healer. She'll be fine.
You.
You can do it.
All right. So they also did a little talk with Alison Berryman, who is one of the world designers. They talked about making the Feast of Prosperity. And for if you've been around in the game a long time, you might recognize her because she was a senior community coordinator. So that was about launch and from the forums as well. And then she had a couple of cross-country moves and a career change, and now she's a world designer. So that's pretty cool. She collaborates with their team to build and script missions, write some of the dialogue, and she's designed a couple of the recent events. So she gets to do a lot of the cool stuff in the game. And
What a cool title. What
Yeah.
do you do? I'm a world designer.
World designer. That does sound cool, doesn't it? Yep. And then the feast is ongoing, and then they wanted to do a new seasonal event to make the galaxy feel more lived in. Since it only comes around once a year, the feast is something to look forward to, but beyond that, it gets to exist outside the high-stakes main storylines in the game. You get to take part in a different type of story with lower stakes, but it still has interesting choices, new allies and adversaries, and opportunities to express your characters too. And I think having both kinds of stories is a key ingredient to a galaxy that feels truly alive. And I agree with that. So, and there's quite a bit more to it, but I suggest you can find it either in our show notes or you can go to SWTOR, and it's pretty easy to find there right now because it's sort of top of the news and all that. But yeah, it's fun to hear them talk about how they decide to make this sort of stuff. There's a lot of one of the things I wanted to just sort of highlight here is, let me find that in here. It's like some of the things that they talk about, that they're thinking about when they're making something like this, because it is an annual event. But they wanted it to feel a little bit different. So the missions unlocked week by week instead of all at once, like they did more recently with the Swoop Rally. With the Swoop Rally, you unlock it via just doing things for the various factions within the event, and as you gain reputation, it unlocks more of the conversations. But with this one, they didn't include a new reputation track, but they like the feeling the rally had of having a story continue as time passes and you work with the characters. So by releasing a new mission each week, characters will still get the feeling and have something new to look forward to each week of the feast. So there we go. That's kind of like why they decided to do that, because they like the feel from some of the other things like the swoop event. So that was pretty cool.
I liked it too. I really liked the way that you had to wait a week.
Mm-hmm.
It gave you something to look forward to.
That.
You mean like always, like back when the chapters of Kopfi and Kotet were, were being released like once a month, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I did like that too. It like Kitty just said, it gives you something to look forward to. It's built-in anticipation. So
Yeah.
I just like that. And I think we're all just so used to being able to sit down and watch a TV show in a day that like when you like, oh, I'm gonna finish this, and then you get to the end, you're like, what's gonna happen? And you can't just click the next episodes, you know?
Right. You
So
can't binge
I
it.
just like it.
You
Yeah.
actually have to wait that week for the story to continue.
Yeah.
And I love that feeling of anticipation, the feeling that it's coming, and then, you have to wait. It's great. It's like Christmas when you're a kid.
Right.
That's a very Niantic thing to do as well. For anyone who's played any of the Pokemon games, something that company does is like that forced waiting period for specific achievements and things. Whereas like there's no way around. There's no grind to get past it. So like you're saying, it'd be like that built-in anticipation, where no matter how dedicated you are, there's no pay to play. There's nothing around that. They put a lot of that in to kind of, I guess, to regulate. It's like a little attenuator, make sure that everyone is within like the same little bracket with each other as they move along. So I think that's an interesting mechanic to put into a game that keeps everyone on the same level. If there's anything I've ever heard from other people when you're trying to like, hey, come play this video game that I love and I've been playing for years, they're always like, oh, I'd be so far behind. I could never. Like, that's not how this works.
Right.
That's not how this works. You can hop in at any time. So I appreciate when people do that and they kind of keep everyone on the same level, and there's no workaround for those.
It creates an opportunity for the community to linger on something, and it gates the progression. When you have an expansion come out that's a full expansion, for example, the people who have 20 hours of free time that day are going to finish the expansion, and then that alters the flow of conversation and almost makes it so most of the content doesn't have staying power.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so with Kot v Kotet and some events where you have to wait for things to be available and happen, it makes it so everyone got stopped there, so we might as well talk about it or do it again. If we have all the episodes of The Mandalorian, for example, the first episode is not nearly as impactful because no one watched it 5 times before going to the next episode. But since we're stuck, we might as well watch it again, right? Because it was awesome.
Yeah.
Catch the details. Yep.
That's what I love about that stuff.
You know, I can't tell you anything about Stranger Things season 2 or 3, but I know every episode of season 1 of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And Stranger Things was a great show, but no reason to watch episode 3 more times because 4 is right there.
4. Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's very culturally common, right? That instant gratification of, okay, here it is. So for those who want to power through all of that content, they can. Maybe this is showing my age that I kind of liked when they would tick it out. So like you said, we could enjoy all of the content and kind of savor it, as opposed to just needing that instant hit of everything and then nothing for the next year until the next season comes out. Then it's like, wah, wah. What did Netflix call it? They call it like a show hole, I think. You're in a show hole when you power through. Yeah, you like stay indoors and you shut your curtains. You don't talk to anyone for 3 days straight. You power through whatever 8, 9, 10 seasons of something, and then you have nothing to watch, and you're like, what do I do? Like, what do I do with myself? I just went through all that content. But if you pace yourself, yeah, exactly. If you pace yourself like we do in a lot of things, which is not common in our culture, that I like that sometimes people will be like, I did it 3 or 4 times, or I'm not doing it every day. I'm not doing the grind, so that you can really savor and enjoy the finer details of whatever content you're enjoying, whether it be The Mandalorian.
We are figuratively
SWTOR.
We are figuratively discussing watching shows and playing games using the Sith code or the Jedi code. And I love that. Right? Like in one, the game is something that you get through quick and achieve victory through your strength and free time. The other one is like peace, serenity, harmony.
That's
that the messages of the game give you purpose. That's the Force.
So are you saying Sith Lord Britt is a Jedi?
Oh, I was just about to say this.
Sith Lord
I don't like how this is going.
You guys, this is Chill's 400th episode.
Now,
Might be a great conversation for the 401st one.
Well,
I want to give support to both sides here. I love the Jedi Code, but the Sith Code is why I needed to finish my dissertation and become Dr. Gameology. So, Sith Lord Britt, you're so awesome. The Force will make a space for you.
Wow, I appreciate that coming from you, sir. Thank you. May the Force be with you.
The question that I get asked the most during the stream is, do you have any recommendations? Do you suggest anything? And my number one answer is always just take your time. There's no reason to fly through it. Just enjoy the stories. And I used to just play right through as fast as I could, but it's so much more fun when you just take your time. You can analyze it, just like The Mandalorian. Star Wars fans thrive on having time to analyze what we love, and that's what I love about The Mandalorian. One of the things I love about it is that I can listen to all the podcasts I listen to and listen to all those perspectives, and it's like rewatching it multiple times with other people's perspective. And it's great.
And if I could put a little button on this, there's a quote that I love that's in relation to this, and it's instant gratification takes too long. And you know who wrote that? Carrie Fisher.
Wow.
Yeah. She wrote that for I think it was, I'm pretty sure it's Postcards from the Edge. So this is back in the 90s, and we were already, this is pre-Twitter and all that, and it was already like that. So
wow.
Yeah. So let's see. So continuing one more bit about the feast is they're putting the music for the feast up on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, look for SWTOR, and the latest uploads are going to be the two songs that they made specifically for the Feast of Prosperity. And I've noticed
they were doing that.
Yeah, they did a good job with that, and I really like. I can't remember which of the two that I really like. I'll have to go listen to it some more to learn which one's which. But I've noticed, like, when I'm doing the little delivery mission, I hear the new music, and it's like, ooh, this is good too. It's really nice music that they came up with. So. Swotorisa, a friend of the show, and at least she was in the chat. I'm not sure if she's still there, but Swotorisa announces the weapon database. Hey, she's still here. Hey, Swotorisa. Yeah, the weapon database for SWTOR. So she did her big armor database recently. We all loved that. I've been using that when I'm making a new character, looking for looks. It's wonderful. Now she's doing the weapon database, and there it is, swotorisa.com/armor. Really nice. And especially, yeah, and for me, like the huge improvement is not only getting to see the weapon, but to hear the weapon, because if you can hear it, for me, the weapon makes a lot of difference in my choice. Sometimes, yeah, if I'm looking for a particular type of weapon only for the look because I'm doing a cosplay character and it has to look a certain way or whatever, that's one thing. But if I've just got like a trooper and I want him to have sort of like a bop 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 sort of sound with his gun, I can't settle for like the more I can't do, I don't want that. I want, and you can't preview that in game. So this is awesome. And right, and she said that the lightsaber sounds are 100% in her weapon site, but blaster weapons are being added. They're not 100% yet, but they're being added, and that's awesome. Yeah, I'm really, really, really happy about this. Very, very cool. So great job, Swotorisa. And yeah, and I did put a little thing, Mandalorian Season 2 is going. We just talked about it, though. I really enjoyed the first episode. We'll kind of stay semi-spoiler free. Some people might not have gotten into it yet, but...
No spoilers.
Yeah, but pay really close attention at the end of the episode. you will see things. There will be good things to see. So there we go. All right, we're gonna do another 60-day code giveaway. Let me go ahead and see how many we got to do here. Got to do one to 31. Yeah.
So
Did you hear the rumor about butter?
What rumor about butter, Kitty?
And it's number 22. This will take me a minute.
I'm not going to spread it.
But,
Why don't eggs tell jokes?
because they'll crack up.
They crack each other up, right? That's exactly right.
All right, and it's Overlord Britt. So congratulations, Overlord Britt. Let me get the 60-day code for you here. We'll whisper it to you. Okay, hang on. Where is it? There they are.
Super duper. Congratulations.
Yeah. There we go.
What time did the man go to the dentist? 2:30.
Hey.
No.
I kind of like that one, actually.
I have a knock-knock joke.
Okay.
Knock-knock.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Dwayne.
Dwayne who?
Dwayne who?
Dwayne the tub, I'm drowning.
Oh.
Ouch. All right. Congratulations,
3-year-old
Bert.
tell me
So there we go.
Every time it's R.
That brings us to the force feedback where you do tweets and emails. And basically, we have enough that I just gave stuff to everyone who wrote in today. So if you wrote in something, you got a prize. So Caver76 gets a 60-day code. And Caver wrote, my question for the show, what do you guys think about the new Mandalorian-inspired armor set? We've talked a little bit about this. At least Kitty and I have for sure on the show. We both think it's awesome. You guys, I know, Kitty, you've gotten the armor set. Has anyone else actually gotten the armor set in game?
Yep, I have.
Nice. And do you have it on your characters yet?
You put the helmet on pretty much everyone that's a bounty hunter.
Nice.
Or a bounty hunter companion.
That makes sense.
That's the helmet that
has
we've always been looking for.
Yeah, because it has the little flippy down and the little light glow and everything. That is slick. That is really slick. How about you, Britt? Have you checked out the Mandalorian set yet? Don't have it yet, right?
I just like to go into the cartel market and wave at it, ask it how it's doing, make sure its day is going well, and then I go home and cry over all of my expensive decorations I've spent my cartel coins on.
Yeah.
I'll get there one day.
Yeah. Well,
it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
I have a lot of my friends have it, and I believe it dies really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good that they're most of the modern sets, they're pretty careful about that, where most of them die pretty well nowadays. Like some of the earlier ones, there's a lot of like the neutral, stuff that doesn't die one way or the other, and then you're kind of stuck, really. But a lot of the modern ones you can really do a lot with, which is really great. And
a lot more detail too.
Yeah, and just one thing we didn't really talk about the Mandalorian that Caber was asking is, what do we think about the season 2 Mandalorian episode? I mean, we all seem to have enjoyed it. I thought it did a pretty good job. I mean, it's one of those where you have to figure out, okay, well, how are you going to get back into the story? How are you going to like get things rolling again? And so it's not necessarily that they're delving right into everything right away, but they're definitely like moving some of the things ahead. We're seeing a lot of like references to stuff. A lot of really, really good effects and new characters and a lot of different species in this episode, which is cool. Which makes sense because Tatooine's very I don't know what you call it exactly. Diverse, I guess. Yeah, they are very diverse. And have any of you guys like checked out the videos like on YouTube where they like, oh, this is what the scrawling on the walls meant and all that sort of stuff.
After watching it,
yeah. Me too.
I don't know if anyone follows them. Star Wars Theory is an excellent channel for things like that.
Cool.
And we watched his little Easter egg video earlier this week, and
nice.
Yeah, it's a good one to check out.
Yeah.
Star Wars Theory, you said.
Star Wars Theory, yeah. They make a whole bunch of fan fiction videos as well. They're on their channel. But they went through a bunch of the Easter eggs I thought was very cool. And the first thing that we pointed out in the episode was all of the graffiti that was around the doorway, right? And it was just like, oh, that looks so awesome. Like, how is even graffiti so much more awesome in this world? It just is. It looks fantastic.
It did.
I wouldn't even erase it if I lived there. I'd just let it be.
Right. Not only did it look cool, but it really looked lived in. Like, there was layers of it. Like, some of the graffiti was being, like, partly overwritten by other graffiti that, you know, clearly someone had done later on, stuff like that. So it really made that whole area feel very lived in, which was, I thought, really, really cool. Yeah.
A couple more suggestions for stuff like that in chat. Swartrista recommended Intisar. He did a translation for the graffiti, and
nice.
Yeah,
let's take a look at Star Wars Explained. Thanks, Alex.
Excellent. All right. So Zen wrote in, I've loved and listened to OotiniCast for years, and I'm happy OotiniCast has kept their great vibe going all this time. Happy 400th. So thank you, Zen. He also wrote the most touching moment was when Chill rejoined the show after suddenly losing his wife. Was touched that he trusted us as listeners to be with him through the difficult time. So yeah, thank you, Zen. I appreciate that. That was, I mean, it's one of those moments that's like, you know, everything changed. So, yeah. I mean, it's one of those crazy things that happens, and it's like, there's like a before time and an after time. It's crazy. It's crazy how much of that is. Like, when like someone talks about like a movie that came out, or when when a celebrity died or something, and if it's anywhere around that time, it's like, I know in my head, okay, that was before she died, or that was after she died. And if it was someone she would have liked, you know, then that gets noted too. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, and of course she was a big Star Wars fan, and she died like literally like weeks before The Force Awakens came out. So there's been so many Star Wars movies, and she missed them all. So, so sad. But anyway, thank you, Zen. I really appreciate that. Yeah, that's very sweet of you. And Sanshari also wrote, agreed, my heart broke for him when he was speaking. I can't imagine how difficult that must have been. So congratulations to OotiniCast for an incredible 400 episodes. And Zen also wrote back later, every time you hear a Jawa say Utini, like in The Mandalorian Season 1, Episode 2, I think of OotiniCast. So that's awesome.
Planted.
So, yeah. So, anyway, I think that's awesome. So I do have, is there anything else that anyone wants to talk about? There's other things that for the OotiniCast, I think before we kind of head out, that I love, being able to meet you guys, when we did the Star Wars and the cantinas and all that. I love doing that. I love being able to meet Kitty in the flesh recently. That was awesome. Britt, haven't met you yet, but I would love to. Hopefully there'll be a vaccine soon, and we can, start meeting other fans again, the way we have in the past.
My friend. Yeah, likewise. I can't wait for cons to open up and everyone to get, lost in those weekends of fandom together.
Yeah, definitely. So, sure. All right, let me find, because I have one more thing here that I'd like to do. I'm going to kind of spring this on this. This wasn't anywhere, but we only have a few of these, but we gave one out for the SWTOR meme contest, if you remember the meme contest a few years back, and then there was a trivia contest, and the top prize on that, we gave one of these. So we're going to do that for the 400 today, and that is a 2400 cartel coin code. So we're going to give that away now. We'll see, we got 42 people in the chat, and let's see. So minus, I have to do so much math all of a sudden. All right, so it's numero 11. Let's see who's number 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Awesome. Do you know how many decos that gets you?
It's Gunzor Yan. Hey, Gunzor Yan. So congratulations. And let me whisper this code to you. I love it when it's like,
I was gonna be like, I gotta go now, guys, right before you did this.
Bye. Very cool. Congratulations.
Yeah. And let's see. Let me get this code whispered out, rather. Not tweeted out. Tweeted out. That'd be a great way to do it, right? Actually, there are people who do that. It's like, if you're the first one to use the code, you'll be able to use it. But
yeah, that's kind of, I don't know if that's funny or not. Is that the Sith side of me is kind of like, do it.
Do it.
Watch the chaos and do it. I kind of just want to tweet out a couple of codes.
We could just put the code up on our streaming screen, and that way, if you're watching, it's for all. Yeah.
Yeah.
The real Sith way would be to put the code in, but have it one character off.
You gotta guess.
And then watch the chaos.
Yeah.
The whole code, but then put a star, right? A little asterisk at the end.
Yeah, a little asterisk. Guess what this is?
I love that idea.
All right, so that's yeah. So hopefully, Gunsar Yan will have something fun to put that to good use for. So that's 2,400. We've given away some other ones. I'm really happy, and then we'll get, like I said, the people who wrote in, Zen and so on. We'll be getting codes as well. I'll do that after the show. Thanks for coming, everyone. Britt, it's been really great. So happy to have you on the 400 for the very first time, and I'd love to have you back if you're available and are willing to come back.
Always. We are hunkered down in our little corner of the city, and thank you very much for having me, guys. I'm honored, and congratulations to you, Chill, for 400 episodes.
400.
That's a
Yeah.
big deal. So we just want to give you a little
Thanks.
cheesy round of applause, because that's a really big deal, and that's awesome for you to stick with it for that long.
Awesome, appreciate it. And Doc, so nice to have you back. I'm so glad you're getting all these really cool projects out, and you're doing the publishing and everything. I'm really, really excited for you.
Thank you so much, Chill. But I think that it's really important to keep the spotlight on you here at the end, because I haven't done anything cool 400 times. So, I'm still hungry, and you have done something really awesome that, as long as the game continues, I hope the show continues. And I've told you several times that I want to see the show be amazing, and I love what you and Katie have. I love listening to it, and if I have a small part to play and I have the ability to do it well, then I'm always interested in that. But you guys are great, and Chill, you're awesome, and I'm going to stop now because this is getting kind of cheesy.
All right. Dek and Fee, I love how you guys, you handle the guild and you help the guild out, and you are the faces of the guild. I love it, and I love doing the Jar Jar Joyride and especially recently, since schedules has meshed a little better, I've been able to come to more of them. Obviously not this last time, but and thank you for everything you do, and also for coming on the show as well.
Yeah. Hey,
Thanks,
listen, if it weren't for OotiniCast, honestly, I probably wouldn't be playing SWTOR anymore, because we were solo players. And getting into group events was always a little bit scary. And by a little bit, I mean I'm running out of the house and screaming.
She did once, actually. She really did.
But and then we found the cast, and we found more information about how to play, and we found the guild, which invited us in and said, hey, we can help you play group things with people who are friendly. And I was like, yes, please. So honestly, I wouldn't be playing anymore. I probably would have 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. So it's a big deal, and it's amazing. And I've gotten to meet 5 of the faces on the screen.
Yeah.
We got to meet, man.
Thank you. And it's true.
I haven't met Kitty either.
Yeah.
So I have to go from one end of the country to the other.
It's true. Like if you if you try to solo play an MMO, you can really enjoy the story. You can grind through the stories and see all the stories, and at some point though you will burn out. And having that little bit of sociability, it doesn't matter if you're normally introverted, because you can always kind of stay away from the guild if you need to for a while and come back in. And play on a character that's not in the guild versus in the guild or whatever. It's all good. There's a million different ways to play it. And Kitty, thank you for being my co-host. I'm really happy that you've been able to join the show, and I think you add a lot, and it's been a lot of fun. And did you want to talk about what we want to do here in the next few weeks starting up?
Well, first of all, Chill, thanks for sticking around and keeping the podcast going for so long. It's still sometimes a little surreal to be on the podcast that I've been listening to for so long, and that actually kept me in the game. And Dek and Fee, you guys are my favorite people to play with, and it's great. I love this community. Meeting Doc and meeting Britt and knowing you guys I feel so lucky, like that there's such a great community, and it makes me very happy. It makes me love the game even more. You guys are all fantastic. And so Chill and I are going to co-stream. Is that what it would be?
Yeah. We'll each be streaming at the same time, I guess. Or I don't know. I guess we'll each be streaming at the same time. Let's put it that way.
We'll both be streaming at the same times, but we'll both be playing with each other. We're going to roll up some characters.
Yep.
And we're going to play through the story together.
I figure what we'll do is we have some general ideas of what might work. We'll probably put it out as a mind trap to see what people want to see us play.
Yeah.
The idea is, two characters that are, related in some way. But we won't go beyond that right now. But yeah, I'm looking forward. We'll just level them up and see the story possibly in different ways or whatever. And maybe, obviously they'll have to be the same faction, but they don't necessarily have to be the same class. That'll depend on what we end up choosing. But that'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to it too.
Yeah. All right, then that's a show. If you'd like to play with us in the Utini Knights Guild on the Republic side of the TL Sean server, or in our... What are you doing, Keith? I could not hear that at all.
Wow.
Try again.
We're not hearing you.
Did it not work?
Not really. That's awesome, though. or in our Utini Rage Guild on the Empire side, do a /CNUtini to join the Utini channel. Then let us know that you're a fan of the show. You can email questions and comments about the show to utinicast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter using @utinicast. You can find contact details for us on our website, utinicast.com, which includes how to subscribe using iTunes, Stitcher, and the rest. We record the show live bi-weekly, usually Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, but we started today at 5. Go to utinicast.com/live to find out how to join in. Our theme song is Doomsday by the immortal Jean-Paul Zogby. And thank you to the chat room. And thank you to Britt and Doc and Dek and Fee and, of course, Kitty. And, of course, to our chat room. Thanks for coming, everyone. It was a lot of fun. It was
Thank
great.
You, Jill.
Really appreciate you guys being part of the show, watching us and interacting with us during the live shows and all that sort of thing. And I really appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, bye,
Everyone.
everyone. Thanks for being here.
Bye-bye.
All
I was
right.
waiting all